Evening all. Hopefully you can hear me. My chair is slowly descending, turning me into a dwarf. Right. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to share the link out, so I will do that quickly. And tonight we're playing the Transformers RPG by Renegade Studio. I always get mixed up with Rebellion, but you know, makes sense, I guess. It uses the Essence 20 system, which basically combines a pair of dice for most rolls. And in theory, that bumps your dice roll to an average, which is, or it creates a bell curve rather, which is a bit weird for an heroic game like Transformers or like G.I. Joe, because it will tend to give you that curve. So you tend to get reliable-ish results on your rolls, which you normally want if you're going for a harder, more realistic sort of game. But I've only gamed out a few sort of scenarios by myself to get the hang of the rules, and I haven't particularly done it in play, so we'll see how that goes. I will give you a quick rundown of the rules in a sec once I finish sharing this. It's gotten confusing sharing from YouTube because sometimes it has the old blue Twitter icon, sometimes it has the new X icon when you go to share. So who knows what's going on there. Right. Okay, one more place. Sorry, I should have done this beforehand. All right, so yeah, let's give you a rundown of the rules. Oh, hang on. Do we have another player coming in? Okay. They could play, but only for an hour, so yeah. All right. Yeah, so the rules, a basic quick rundown so everyone knows kind of how things work. Okay, you take a d20 and you take whatever other dice corresponds to your skill. You roll them together and you add them together, and then you compare that roll to the difficulty. If you roll the highest possible number on the second dice, not the d20, and succeed, that's a crit, so you get like a free sort of boost to what you've rolled. Which again is a bit of a weird dice convention because it means you're more likely to succeed the bigger the dice that you're rolling with your d20 is, but you're more likely to crit if you've got a lower dice. So that's a bit odd, a bit quirky. Again, we'll have to see how that turns out in play. If you don't have any ranks in a skill, then you just roll 2d20 and you take the lowest die. So as if you had disadvantage in D&D. If you've got a specialization that applies, or it's called something else. I can't remember, but the opposite of a snag, then you roll 1d20 plus every die that you're entitled to for your skill. And then you take the d20 and whichever of the other dice rolled highest and add them together. D2s do not normally get criticals, but if you have a specialization, D2s can get criticals. So there's that. A snag is, again, it's like disadvantage in the D20 systems, 5th edition D&D, and that you roll 2d20, you take the lowest. Excuse me, sorry. You can get shifts, which boost up the dice roll that you're rolling, or shifts down, which decrease the die roll that you're rolling. So if your normal skill was a d8 plus a d20, but you were doing something difficult that gave you a downshift, you'd only roll a d6 plus a d20. Difficulties run in blocks of 5, from simple to impossible. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is simple, routine, challenging, hard, formidable, impossible. If you're rolling against someone else, you roll and compare. If you've got help from someone, that provides an edge. That's what it's called, edge. where you roll all the dice, or a shift up. But you can't have more people helping than makes sense to have helping. If you exceed the difficulty by multiples of the difficulty level, then you get more boosts. So, like, if you're shooting someone, and it normally did 1 damage, it's fixed damage numbers in this, but you got a crit, that might put it up to 2 damage, and then if you got double the difficulty number to hit the guy, then you might get another point of damage. So that's how you get more or less damage by and large. You can fiddle with the results of rolls. You've got story points, which are equal to the number of players. So in tonight's case, the players have 2 story points, which I will make note of there. And so does the GM. And I also get 1d2 plus 1 story points at the beginning of each scene. Or each major scene, rather. Players get points for good roleplay, milestones, anytime you fumble, things like that. You can spend story points to re-roll if you got a 1, to roll a skill test as if you're specialized in whatever it is that you're trying to do, to add to your defense before an attack is rolled, +5 if you choose to spend before, +1 if you choose after. You can add little lucky twists to a scene, so you can suggest something to me, spend a story point, and have something happen, but I can reject it, obviously. You can also spend story points to get a clue if you get stumped by any puzzle or anything that you're trying to work your way through, so that's nice. You also have Energon. You can store Energon equal to your lowest stat. You regain half your Energon every day. And you also get 1 anytime you've battled with other Cybertronian organisms or similar. Plus, you can drain it from a source to top up your Energon. You can spend Energon to shift up a skill roll, to negate a snag, so that you get rid of the disadvantage, or to keep going after you've been taken out, defeated. Not really killed unless you're Optimus Prime in a movie, but taken out. Combat, you roll initiative, which is a skill. You, instead of moving, you can sacrifice your move to re-roll your initiative. So if you get a bad initiative, you can take cover and then roll to get it better. You've got a limited number of actions depending on your speed, but once it's at 3 or higher, you're fine. And you can make a number of free actions every turn, like minor actions equal to your speed -2. So if your speed is 3, you can make 1 minor action a turn. You can also sacrifice your main actions to do minor actions. Minor actions can be used to aim, to move a bit further, to make a skill roll, open and close a door, all that kind of stuff that we try to keep track of in games somewhat. Combat actions, you can attack, you can transform, you can create a contingency. So if you wanted to do Overwatch, this game has an opportunity for doing that. You can line up your gun on an alleyway and you can set the contingency. If anything crosses this alleyway, I shoot. And then if anything does cross the alleyway, you shoot. Is there anything else super important? If it comes up, it comes up. Cybertronians heal naturally, presumably through the magic of Energon or nanotech, but you can also use the science and technology skills to try and recover lost health. I think that's everything, so let's bring in the players. Evening all.
Hello, hello.
We've got a week nitty bong.
We've got on our weep ninny bong.
The universal greeting. Oh, it never fails.
Supposed to give a little Energon cookie as well, though, aren't you? I don't have any. We'll have to make do.
Wait. I totally have this.
You do? Excellent. Okay, so a little background. Kind of as if the cartoon continuity had kept going for a further however many years it is, and nobody answered that, I'll feel old. So pretty much Autobots and Decepticons still duking it out over sources of energy on Earth. Autobots somewhat allied with humans, Decepticons less so, one might say. And the Decepticons trying to snaffle as much energon as possible to send back to Cybertron to kind of bring it back to life, and the Autobots trying to find a way to live alongside humans and the rest of the universe. So you guys are going to be a new Autobot sort of rapid reaction force. That's as rapid as you can be. You're based out of an NPC Autobot called Grunt, who is based on an Oshkosh tank transporter. So he's a huge truck with twin things on the back of trucks. Containers, whatever, trailers, twin trailers on the back with a sort of bendy bus connector. So, those are big enough for you guys to actually stand up and move around in and do things, and there's communications equipment and so on in it.
So we get our own little apartment.
Yeah, you each get your own little apartment. Grunt, for his part, he was a gladiator on Cybertron many moons ago. He's big and kind of dumb, but very, very strong. So yeah, he's not that useful to have on missions, but he's good at getting you from A to B. So, could you introduce your characters, please?
You want to go
Go ahead,
first,
Morphe.
Caster? Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I am Morphe, an Autobot. Is that so? A grumpy old timer, usually found chomping on an Energon cigar. Morphe is a veteran and a talented mechanic, though he tends to get a little experimental through boredom. He loathes injustice, but is obsessed with Dark Energon and its potential to preserve his life. His spark is wearing thin.
Yeah. And what's your alternative mode? What do you transform into?
I turn into an old school Ford Model T, baby. Hell yeah.
He's been a time or two to Earth, I take it.
Yeah. He was one of the old scouts and arrived at some point in the 1920s. Yeah.
I'm here to train up the new generation.
Right. And Caster, you're playing?
I'm playing Apocrita, of one of the few female Cybertronians who spent her time on Cybertron before the war, playing Cube, the equivalent of rugby. So she has a tendency to approach everything as a sort of game. Everything becomes a matter of trying to score points. Hey, I bet you can't do this. I bet I'll do this first. It'll be a point for me. That sort of thing. Let's see. Yeah, she's a bit it's a little tough for some people to trust her because she's been so kind of patched up with parts from like Sharkticons and other just kind of generally untrustworthy sort of bots. That kind of this idea that how much of that is kind of rubbed off on her.
Yeah.
And as for her alt mode, it is a motorcycle. Specifically, I got this here. Bimota Tessie H2. Very nice bikes.
Yeah, one of the fastest, most powerful road legal racing bikes, as I recall. Whereas the Model T is not that. All right.
We always race.
So I've done a rare thing in that I have based the adventure a little bit off the one in the book, but though not exactly. Mostly because I wasn't quite sure how to balance this game, because I didn't find the information on threat levels and things particularly enlightening when it came to that. So, if anything goes wrong, it's not my fault, it's the creators. Alright. So, Grunt is starting your first big patrol, and you've been rumbling around the United States for a few days. At the moment, it's dusty roads and desert and canyons and things outside, rumbling past enormous rocks. It's been pretty dull, all things considered, just trundling along in Grunt, and he's not the best conversationalist. You're both veterans, but whether you trade stories or whatever, I don't know. Morphe probably feels like he's got a better handle on Earth, and Apocrypha probably feels like she's got a better handle on fighting Decepticons these days. But there is a chattering bleep from the computers in one of the trailers, and a little sort of caution alarm goes off. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Morphe here. What's going on?
We've just received an alert from Teletran 2, and something's not right at one of our old energon processing facilities from back in the day. We're still using the old sensor array to keep an eye out for Decepticons, and the array's gone offline. I mean, it's an old facility. It might just be wear and tear, or it could be something more nefarious. We need you guys to go and check it out and make sure it's nothing untoward going on, and repair it if you can.
All right.
And map coordinates flash up.
How many clicks is it out? I'll do the 10-4 call sign. Let the youngster know we might need to kick some ass.
So it's an old hidden Autobot energon processing facility built into and onto Black Mountain in the Sloan Canyon conservation area.
Okay. Can I use technology to try to get more information about the area? That way I can devise an attack plan.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
some
can
satellite tracking images to pull up something that the humans might have.
Well, so you can probe your databanks to see what information you already have about it. So let's see, what would we need for that? That would be
technology.
Science?
Yeah, not science. Science is more analytical. I think technology to get the useful information out. So Google
so
food.
That means I roll a d20 and a d8.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And I add them both together?
Add them together, yeah.
That is a total of 8. I got 4 and 4, yeah.
That's, not very good. Okay, so if I compare that to the difficulties as a sort of rough guide to how much information I can give you, that's just enough to beat simple. So the very most basic information possible. So Black Mountain is one of a series of mountains. I had this up before. I've stupidly closed the window. Gone. I was prepared, I promise. I spent extra time getting prepared today. Okay. Okay, so Black Mountain, it's about halfway up this particular range of mountains.
How difficult does it look like to get a high position?
It'll be difficult. There aren't really any roads up to it, so Grunt's not really going to be able to make his way up there.
Fine, we'll just have to hoof it on foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or on wheels to a certain extent. There are some trails.
Probably like horse trails, power line trails type of thing.
You should be used to those.
Okay, it's south of Henderson, Nevada, and not that far from Vegas. So up in the mountains.
Can I roll a culture check to see what I might possibly know about the area?
Yep, go for it.
All right, so this will be 2d20 lower the 2 because I have it untrained.
Okay.
I got a 20 and a 2.
You know nothing. Nothing at all.
It's not one of those big names I wouldn't.
It's a big part of Earth rocks. Who cares? And then you were going to try and tap into some satellites or something as well. Morphe was.
Yeah, I'll make that attempt here. Hopefully,
Okay, make another.
I'll use different dice this
roll.
time since the other ones betrayed me. Well, that's a lot better. All right, so 17 on the D20 and 3 on the D8 is a total of dirty 20.
So should I? How much total?
20.
20. Okay, so that's a lot better. Okay, you managed to tap into some satellites and some other data online to get a look at it. As far as American mountains go, they're not too huge. It's part of the McCullough Range.
Okay.
Within the North McCullough wilderness area.
Is that near Black Rock Desert?
It's near Black Mountain.
Because if it is, that's where that rave goes on. The Build a City.
Oh yeah.
That's the one where they all got stuck in the desert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just recently. Yeah.
I think they had an outbreak of the plague.
Probably several plagues. Yeah, so it's not that hugely high as far as mountains go, but it's high enough. Through the satellite image, you can see that there are hiking trails and things up the mountain. So, there will be humans wandering around up there, puny flesh things that they are. So, being somewhat stealthy and careful is probably a good idea.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say, hey, come here, take a look at this. This is what I found.
All right, you're the nerd. You know this stuff best. Just, what do I got to know here?
I think we should try to get ourselves up and around high, take a viewpoint, and then send you in with me covering. And if you notice anything, give me a holler, and I'll hop down to it.
Sounds like a pretty straightforward plan.
Usually the best ones are.
All right. Grunt channels more energy onto his drive systems and picks up speed, which terrifies the few other drivers that you're passing on the highways. Eventually he hurtles his way through the town of Henderson and comes to a halt where the roads end and the hiking trails begin. Me wait here. Yeah.
Yeah, but stay on the comms just in case we need you to smack some stuff.
Okay.
Just stay idling, buddy.
Brum, bum, 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 bum. But he actually makes the broom noise. He doesn't actually rev his engine. Right.
So is there like a ramp or something that his pop backs open to?
Yeah, so the back ramp drops down, a bit like Goliath from Knight Rider. And you're able to roll out. Apocrita has like a fake human that pops up when she's in bike mode. So, yeah, you're not going to terrify people by driving along with nobody driving you. That would be bad.
Do I have a fake human in Model T form too?
You probably do, yeah.
Okay.
Like the inflatable co-pilot in Airplane.
So I get the blow up doll. He gets the hologram. Damn it!
older technology.
The feature is now, old man.
You just steal a mannequin every time you need them.
I'm coming. All right.
I'm flying off the ramp just to like get the air.
And see if you beat your record. Make a driving roll.
All right, D20 plus D2. It's kind of weird to shake in my hand a dice and a coin. 19 plus. I'm going to say that's a 1.
Okay. Well, that's 20. That's still really good. Considering your average would have been, 10.5, 12. Yeah, so, yeah, you've done about as good as you can without some heavy training. So you come roaring out of Grunt's rear end at high speed, leap into the air, and land on your back wheel and bounce, and measure the distance. Yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah, I'm not that old. I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay, so 17 and 4 is total of 21.
So exactly the same distance. So you, I should have queued up the noise on a soundboard for transforming, shouldn't I? So, and then,
there you go.
And then comes chugging out like Chug-a-Boom, and somehow manages to get some air.
Maybe some
probably given your form, it's not quite as far, but for you, that was a really good jump.
It was glorious. Glorious.
2 whole feet.
Not bad, old man.
I got some pep in my step just yet. All right, you know the battle plan. I'll be right behind you, youngster. Come on, let's go.
Well, God forbid you're ahead of me. Yes, let's get going.
All right, so it's pretty heavy going since you're having to go up what is a hiking trail, a glorified hiking trail. And one of you is a Model T Ford, which is too wide for the trail, and the other one of you is a road legal racing bike, which isn't really built for off-road. So let's have driving rolls from each of you, please.
Uh-oh. 11 for more.
17.
Okay. It's rough going, and the hikers that you pass seem very confused as to why an old Model T Ford is struggling its way up the trail, and why such a shiny, nice-looking racing bike is getting itself all dirty and scratched and muddy going up this trail. But
I just had this picture of my pretend-to-be driver just flipping off the locals. And I want to persuade them to look away.
Well, I mean, it's an unusual sight. There's no getting away from that. But yeah, well, no, it's America. If you give someone the finger, they might shoot you. So
Well, also depending on the region, it can also be seen as like an endearment, like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? Fuck you."
Yeah, it all depends on the user. But I do have
Uh,
persuasion of a D6, so I'm persuading them to go F
Yeah.
themselves.
Okay, make that roll then.
4.
Okay, you come trundling by one guy. He's with a walking staff and a big backpack full of things that he probably doesn't need on this trip. You come trundling by him, and you make your driver give him the finger, and he takes offense, and he comes at you and starts bashing at your rear fender with his hiking pole.
Can
Who do you think you are? Giving me the bird? Smack, smack, smack.
Can I kind of move up on him silently and try to rev the engine to scare him?
Yes, make an intimidation roll.
Oh boy.
Hi, Django.
Hello.
Hey.
How's a 1 sound?
Yes, the heroes are harassing the locals. Yay!
So, all right, you come up on this guy as he's bashing Morphe in the rear fender, and Rev. He goes, "What's that? A wasp? This is a hiking trail. It's not for vehicles." And he gives Apocrypha a couple of smacks with his hiking pole as well on her front, whatever you call it, on cowl on the bike.
Like, ow, ow, ow! I'm gonna rev and try to floor it to get out of there.
Yeah, you can easily pull ahead, and even Morph can probably drive faster than someone can walk. So if you just want to pull away and leave him behind, you can do that.
No, I'm too much of a vain bastard, so I will pull away with kicking dirt and rubble into his face.
Okay.
Oh, what is it? Where's my drive? I just saw it. Okay, it's a D2. Got it. Oh, that's not bad. So 19.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So you rev away. All right, continuing to follow the electronic map that you've got, which probably comes out as like a holographic projection from your arm or something. You have to go off the hiking trail even, and we'll have to properly climb a bit of this mountain to get up to where this spot was going to be. So, unless you've got any cunning kind of approach as to how you're going to climb, I will assume you go into bot mode, and it will be an athletics roll.
Okay. Athletics. Okay.
Let's see. 23.
Okay, no problem.
6.
Lots of problems. Okay. Right, so you start into the climb on the face that doesn't have the hiking trail on it. Your site that you need to get to is about halfway up the mountain. Apocrypha just sort of leaps from boulder to boulder and scrambles up with surprising speed and aplomb, or perhaps not that surprising considering she used to be a champion cube player. Morph carefully picks his way up the rocks, much more slowly, one by one. Yeah, okay, there, now there, now there. In Apocrypha's haste, she knocks free a few rocks, which come tumbling down towards Morphe.
No.
Let's see, getting out of the way. So evasion is a score that usually an attack has to roll against, so I'll just roll a d20, and if it gets over your evasion, it hits you. It does not get over your evasion, I think. What is your evasion?
It's a 12.
Oh,
Yeah, under speed
no, it
2.
doesn't. It doesn't hit you. You desperately manage to swing out the way, and a whole bunch of dirty brown boulders tumble past you, creating a small rock slide. But you managed to hold on and make your way the rest of the way up without being brained.
Watch it, kid.
Well, this is what happens when we don't go out for those morning exercises like I keep insisting upon.
Takes a couple of puffs on
Besides-
the Energon cigar. Just
Yeah, it glows purple on the end.
Besides, you're falling behind in the point score for today. Like, I'm kicking your butt here. Like, the way I reckon it, I've got about 2 points ahead of you at the moment.
Okay, so you arrive where the old processing facility is. It's been abandoned since about 91, 92, so it's been left alone a long time. A lot of scrub has grown up since then around the area. It looks like somewhat recently the entrance area has been disturbed. A lot of the rocks are kind of broken aside, which explains why all that loose rubble was there, which nearly fell on Morph. So there's a crack in the side of the mountain, big enough for a large transformer in bot mode to walk through. But you can see a glowing, crackling, purplish light from inside there.
Just basic off of what I know with Energon and technology, am I able to make a roll to gather any intelligence from sight?
Well, if you're investigating, you can make... What, are you going into the crack to investigate the light, or are you trying to theorize what it is?
I just want to observe first and see if I can... It's like, okay, this might be wrong, that might be wrong type of thing.
Okay, make first an alertness and then a technology skill check.
Okay, alertness, where's that at here?
Should be under smarts.
There we go, smarts. Yeah. That's a D2. Okay, 17 and 1 is 18 for the alertness.
Okay.
And next one was technology, yes?
Yep.
17 and 2 on the D8 for technology is a 19.
Okay, cool. Right, yeah. Those cigars must be doing something for you. Is Apocrypha doing anything while Morphe takes his time looking around doing his best Columbo impersonation?
At the moment, Pakrita is looking around, trying to find one just the right size boulder that can kind of replicate a cube. She can always, throw at something.
Okay. Yeah, you find a cube-sized boulder and sort of tossing it and looking around. Yeah, what can I do with this? All right, Morph. That light probably comes from an old-style force field, but that should only be switched on if the facility has gone into defensive lockdown, or someone's switched it on, or someone's disturbed it. It shouldn't just come on by itself. You'll need to find a way to disable the force field, but in order to disable it, you're going to have to get through. The field itself won't pass through stone, so it's going to stop at the stone. So maybe you could excavate your way in, or there might be another way in. There's usually an escape route or something in these kind of facilities. There is barely noticeable, but you got a good roll. There is an old dirt trail leading slightly up and around the mountain, so that might be where there might be another way in. You also note that the scrub that's grown here over the last 30 years or so, some of it is burnt in patches, and here and there are Cybertronian footprints.
Okay, kid. Here's the battle plan. Strategize, I believe, is what I want to do here. All right, you see those footprints? So we got a possible 2 entrances we can do. If we dig, it's probably going to take a hot minute. There might be a back way in. However, we need to go in like an inchworm style. You ever see those little creatures that the humans kind of like cultivate sometimes for silk or whatever? You go up a little bit forward and the back comes up a little bit forward, back comes up. So what we're going to do here is you're going to be aggressive bait, and I will cover you with Overwatch at each step of the way. Just make sure you stay on comms. And is there any way, like we have encrypted comms or whatever, that we can do? Like a short burst?
I think Autobots have short range radio kind of built in.
Okay.
I think. Trying to remember back to the cartoon many moons ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they can transmit to each other, but they use big telescreens and things occasionally. But yeah, we'll assume you can communicate with each other.
So I'm gonna pull out the old slugger, have it in one hand, and then the pistol right on top of it, kind of like I would have like a knife and dagger, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. And then we got to find a way in because something tripped the defenses of this, and whatever's doing something in there is probably not going to be good. So effectively, the contingency action is whatever comes out to attack you, I'm going to shoot it in the face.
Yeah. So basically, you're going to move up, stagger formation. You are on contingency. If something pops out, I'm going to shoot it. And Apocrypha scouting ahead.
Yep.
Okay. Can I have an alertness roll from Apocrypha, please?
D6. Nine.
Would you like to spend a story point?
Yeah, that's probably wise here.
Okay. Right. You notice after following this trail up a bit, it does continue, but you think it's a false trail because it doesn't seem as used or trodden down. There's also another somewhat fresh avalanche of rocks, but under the rocks, through the rocks, you can see patches of broken up asphalt. And these rocks look looser and smaller than the ones down at the main entrance area. You think this was probably the back entrance to the place when it was in use.
I mean, in theory, this one could be an easy way in instead. Why don't we just waltz in here?
Good eye, kid. And I will make my way down. Still doing the whole you go in front, I'll cover behind.
Okay. So you'll have to clear the rocks.
I'm going to refrain from whistling when I casually walk in.
Okay, well, you have to clear the rocks out of the way. So can I have brawn rolls from each of you, please?
Okay.
Just to see if anything goes catastrophically wrong.
9.
Okay.
So the lower one is a 13. I rolled because I didn't have a skill in there, so I rolled the 2d20s, right? Yeah. The lower one's a 13.
Okay. So, yeah, you muscle a bunch of these rocks out the way, or mire rather than muscle, I suppose. And eventually, behind it, you expose an old disguised door of sort of 1980s vintage Cybertronian design. To open it, you're going to need to enter a code, but it's kind of crude and old, so
Technology to hack.
Technology should do it with a +1 shift. So what is your technology skill?
Is a G8.
Try 80085.
My technology.
So sorry, what?
It's a D8.
What was it? D8. Okay, so it's a D10 plus D20 then.
D10.
Nice. It's got +1 shift.
All right. Wow. Okay, so 13.
Okay. Okay. You plug into the controls and sort of tap away for a while trying to get through it, and you can't break the encryption. It's so old that you don't know what you're supposed to do. You might be able to disable the mechanism or just muscle the door open.
Yeah, I'm gonna get mad. Can I use science to disable the mechanism?
What the is this running Windows 95?
Yeah, you're gonna hear Morphe like start cussing. This damn old stupid people, stupid outdated technology, crap, bullshit, much to it. They don't know what the hell they're doing. These damn youngsters.
Yeah.
Rusted to blazes at all hell and crap.
Yeah, make a science roll.
Oh, thank God, that's a lot better. 16.
Okay. Losing your patience, you rip the mechanism off and just short a bunch of cables together until the thing opens up. Okay.
I've got my head up looking around to see for how this is inevitably going to go wrong with him ripping that off.
Well, the door...
My cube-sized rock at the ready.
So, yeah, the door cranks open, but doesn't open all the way. It was clearly damaged or rusted up or something. So it cranks up, but you reckon you should just be able to squeeze through?
Nope. The job's not done till the job's not done. Can I use might this time, or is that just a
might's for hitting things in close combat? I mean, you can beat it with your club if you want.
Can I Fonzie
it? If you want to spend a story point or a point of energon, you can Fonzie it. Otherwise, it's 50-50 whether that makes things better or worse.
Maybe
so what do you want to do?
Maybe I'll back down and let the kids do something. I know when I get licked. You want to give me a hand with trying to open this up a little bit wider?
All right. If you need it.
Yeah.
Sure you don't want to step aside? Let me do this by myself, because I think I can do it for you, old man.
Okay, I'll start. I start poofing on the cigar. It's like, fine, kid. Yeah.
All right. Brawn.
6.
Okay. Yeah. So Apocrypha wedges herself in there and tries to shove it open, but it stubbornly refuses to move.
Getting defeated by a door.
That's traditional in all role-playing games.
Yeah. All right. What would be a combined action?
That would be... So aid another, so that would give you a shift. So instead of not having any dice and rolling 2d20, one of you would roll 1d20 and a d2.
Problem is, I can't lend assistance.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's your drawback from all those shark to com parts. Yeah.
What if I used science to tackle this to use my club as a lever?
Does that qualify as science?
Levers and pulleys are simple machines, sir. And they amplify force.
It's not so much that's the problem. It's just that the doors are twisted and jammed. I mean, there should be enough room to squeeze through. It's just you being stubborn about wanting to open them all the way that's causing the problems.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if you need to run away, like not having to squeeze through a door would
be or you can smash them with your club, and you've got a 50-50 chance of that making.
Yeah, we'll just smash with the club. To hell with it.
Okay. Right, I will roll d6. 1 to 3, it makes the situation worse. 4 to 6, it makes the situation better. Worse.
Of
Okay,
course.
you repeatedly beat the door with your massively oversized baseball bat, putting a load of fresh new dents in it, and then it partially collapses in on itself, narrowing the gap. You might be able to get through still, but you're going to have to crawl.
Did you knock this out of the track? What did you do?
I got defeated by a door. I feel so old.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah. This is not okay. Yeah, the hell with it. We'll find a different way out.
Okay, so
is there air
to
vents?
the Cybertronians don't need air, so you know.
Maybe there's some port or some little entryway for like passing cables through.
Maybe, but you know there is enough room for you guys to get through. You've just made it more difficult for yourselves, but you can still get through. Right.
Yeah, but I want to pull a Die Hard.
If you spend another story point, you can find an exhaust vent.
Fine, I'll crawl through the hole.
Okay. Right. So, the trouble is that Morphe has bent and buckled it, meaning there's less room to go through. So, lower your athletics dice type by 1 and roll.
What does that mean if we don't have one?
I think you rolled
Then-
3 and
No, you auto fail.
Fantastic.
We'll figure it out.
17.
17. Okay, you crawl through, no problem.
I do a little handstand as I come out the other side and flip over.
Right, Morphe goes to climb through and gets stuck halfway through. So in the interior, this area opens up. This looks like an old control room. It's quite thick with dust and cobwebs, but the cobwebs and muck on some of the screens looks like it's been brushed aside. The generator's been fired up again, and there are various readouts and things going on what looks like a brand new Cybertronian technological device has been plugged into the consoles. There are also a couple of big carry cases which lay open. But Morphe's stuck, so what do you want to do?
I'm probably going to prioritize try to help pull him through.
Okay. Even with your floor, this is going to be helping. So one of you roll brawn, shift up 1. So if you don't have brawn, you get a D2.
I can do it. And so I'm just grabbing his arms and trying to force him through.
Yeah, good call.
12.
Okay. Between you, you manage to grab hold of Morphe and pull him through. Yes.
Stretched. I'm getting stretched.
Like Winnie the Pooh stuck in the hole. Oh, bother. Yeah, there's a grinding of metal on metal, and Morphe's pulled out, and you both go sprawling on the floor. And as you do, the contents of the cases make themselves known. From deeper in the complex, a pair of hovering Cybertronian drones come flying up, popping little laser guns out of the top of their casings, and look like they're about to attack. So, initiative rolls, please.
Oh, we're rolling at disadvantage.
Same. I got an 8.
Same.
Okay, so you both got 8. Do they have the initiative skill? No, they don't. So you're all equally slow.
Should we try it again?
No, that's fine. Okay. Perhaps unsurprisingly, given the situation you were in, the drones appear to have the drop on you. And they open fire. So one shoots at each of you. Given you're both kind of sprawled on the floor at the moment, I think it'll be attacks against toughness. So what's Hippocrates' toughness?
15.
Okay. Shots ricochet off your chassis without doing any damage, just scorching your paint. And what's Morphe's toughness?
14.
Similarly, you throw up your arm to guard, and the laser shots just sizzle and rattle off it. And whichever one of you wants to go first can take their turn.
Apocrypha is going to try to get herself up.
Yep. So that'll be one free action to return to your feet.
Which I believe I have a total of 3.
I think so, because you're quite speedy.
And then can I spend a free action to aim?
Yep. So that gives you a shift up on your attack.
And I want to shoot at the one that, ricocheted off my paint.
Okay, so bump your dice up by 1 and make an attack roll. It's bobbing and weaving and trying to stay out of the way, so you need to beat 13. Or equal or better than 13.
Tremor, what I need to... Oh, was it based on, I think, targeting?
Targeting, yeah. And bump the dice up by 1.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It's been about a week or two since I played, so I'm feeling a little rusty here.
It's all good.
It's a 19, plus I rolled a 4 on the D4. So that crits.
So that's 24 and a crit. 23 and a crit. So not quite double its evasion, but a crit anyway. So you do 2 damage. Is that a blaster pistol, is it?
Yep, that's the blaster pistol.
Okay. So you twist around rapidly, bring up your pistol, and fire a couple of shots after lining it up. Strikes the drone, burns a couple of holes clean through it. It retracts its guns and drops to the ground, burning and sizzling. The other one starts to duck and weave with even more alacrity. Morphe.
Move action to get up. Take free action to aim. And then fire.
Okay. Make your attack roll with shift up on the dice.
Okay, so that is a total of 11.
Which isn't quite enough. Do you want to spend anything to bump up your roll?
That would be Energon, right?
Yeah, trouble is that you spend that to shift up a skill, so you would have had to do that beforehand.
Ah, okay.
So no, I don't think you've got any options.
Yeah.
All right. So you blast away with your antiquated blaster. Yes, it's more reliable. The weight as a sign of quality. It's still not very accurate. So you send out a couple of blasts, they smash into the ceiling and bring down chips of rock as the thing bobs and twists again. It moves across the room and fires a bunch of bolts at you guys. So, doesn't actually say what actions they have, so I'll just assume one of each. Okay. What's Apocryta's evasion now if she's dodging?
Evasion is 15.
Okay. You are hit. And you take 1 damage.
Left.
So it goes off your health. Yeah. So you take a full-on blast right in the gut. It scores through the metal and sears some of your inner electronics. There's flashes of power and energon. Ow. That hurt. Right, and that's your go.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and, I think, aim for the one that just shot me.
Yeah, it's the only one that's left. So
Yeah. I guess, well, actually, can I aim twice?
Yes, I think you can
2000?
aim up to 3 times, I think. So that'll bump it up twice.
Actually, I got 3, so I might as well aim 3 times.
I think it's 3 times. Okay, we'll assume it is. So what was your skill?
It was a D2, so I think that should
So-
up it to a D8.
D8, yeah.
$18.
That's very definitely a hit. Yeah, so you blast the thing center mass. It doesn't even have an opportunity to retract. It's just burnt clear through from front to back. Droplets of molten metal spray out, and then it drops to the ground with a clang. If you'd spent any energon, you could have 1 back, but you didn't, so you can't.
Meh.
Meh. You can have a story point back, though.
Good job, kid. I'm going to move immediately to the newer tech that was plugged into the console, and I would like to take a look at it.
Okay, make a technology roll.
$16.
Okay. Right, this is a Cybertronian device of Decepticon design. It has basically hacked into the systems of this old structure, activated the force field, acts as a controller for the drones, and has also acted, turned the energon sensor array into an energon sensor disruptor. So while this is on, it is preventing any energon sensor devices in the area or anywhere else from detecting anything.
So let's shut it off.
Yeah, as soon as I pull this, if they're still here, they're going to attack us. Do you want to see about getting our big guy coming up here, or getting the word out that we might need extra support?
Yeah, I can, squeeze right back through the hole and try to go get outside where I can communicate and get a hold of Grunt.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you wiggle off back through the hole, won't make you roll again. You emerge from the other side and contact Grunt. Down at the bottom of the mountain, far, far away, Grunt is sat at the side of the hiking trail, obliviously in bot mode, stroking a kitten with one giant finger, and he gets the call. He's got a little crowd of people around him. Hello?
Grunt, it's go time.
Oh, go where?
You're gonna want just come on up to me. I think we're gonna be getting into a little bit of heat here, so could always use your muscle.
Which one?
All of them.
Okay,
Nice.
I'll come find you. And you hear crunching and splintering noises as the gigantic Grunt starts to stride up the mountain.
I take it from up here on top of the mountain. I can see like trees being moved and knocked out of the way.
Yes. If you had a glass of water, it would be trembling. Yeah. Okay, so you wait for Grunt. He's a big boy. There's no way he could drive up here, so he has to stride up. So all pretense at stealth is out the window. But eventually he arrives, and one of his gigantic eyes glows and peers in through the hole in the doors. Hello?
All right, anything that comes outside of this, just hit it. If it's not us, hit it. Hit it hard, big guy.
Okay.
You want me to stay out here?
No, I want you to come in here with me because in case there was more people here. All right, so plan is, big guy's got stuff outside, anything on the inside. After we pull this, we'll go down the lane and see if we can actually find a different passageway out, just to make sure we clear the satellite dish. We good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. And with one hand, I don't know if we need to reload or not, but I will reload and then I will pull the tech out.
Okay. Make a science roll with a shift up by 1 to detach it successfully and safely.
That is so D4 goes to a 6.
Yeah.
Nice. 19.
Okay. Yeah, it is mildly booby-trapped. You could have got a nasty power surge from it, but you managed to bypass that and get the thing unplugged. As you get it unplugged, it powers down. The lights throughout the facility flicker off. Emergency lighting comes back up. Outside, Grunt goes, "Oh, I'm getting a message."
What are you hearing, big guy?
Teltran says there's energon signatures, lots of them, that were being masked by the thing what you just broked.
How many?
1, 2,
Is it lots of them?
some, lots in 2 places. That are the Hoover Dam and the Tillman Memorial Bridge.
Okay.
Not that far, if I could fly, but I can't.
Does the system seem to need to be like rebooted or whatever before we leave?
Oh, well, the facility was mothballed, so but the sensor array seems to be back up, running on the old emergency power.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should probably just clear the sensor array and then get to the closest site.
The bridge is the closest of the 2 sites.
Okay. What do you think?
Works for me. Are they both in the same direction?
Yes, east of here, down the mountains. You should be able, if you travel northeast, you should be able to get onto a road relatively quickly. But if you want to get there fast, you're going to have to leave Grunt behind.
We can't leave him behind.
Yeah, no, we can't. Is there any way I could boost him to go faster with technology? Like give a little extra spark in his step?
I could...
Because I do have the experiment edge on test cases with unfamiliar technology and inventor.
So... Well, what sort of thing do you have in mind?
Well, I mean, I have these like these cigars, right?
Right.
Are these cigars like dark energon or something like that? Is that
No,
what?
they're just
Oh, okay.
very, very small amounts of regular energon.
Oh, okay. All right.
Though I guess you could charge him with energon to make him faster, but it's getting down a mountain quickly. That's the problem.
Yeah, we might as well just. What was it? We'll just go the way we came. We'll have to eat this time.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you sticking with Grunt, or are you going to move ahead of him so you can get there quicker?
Sticking with him, I think, is the wisest option, honestly. And then while we're inside him, which is really weird, while we're inside him, I'll send a message to try to amplify to home base about what's going on for an initial report and where we're going next.
You're the closest Autobots to the site, but once you get down and into the back of Grunt, your computer screens fill up with images of what's going on. At the Tillman Bridge, a couple of jet fighter Decepticons are basically taking pot shots at some traffic. They've trapped a bunch of trucks and cars between two, in the middle of the bridge by blasting either end and setting fires and so on. And now they just seem to be cruelly toying with the humans that are on the bridge, like making strafing runs, shooting at the occasional bridge support. It's all very, very shaky phone footage from people who are there.
What do you think about we send Grunt over to the dam and we'll clean up the bridge and then race over to the dam? Probably by the time he gets there, we'll be there too.
Yeah, that works for me. Apocrypha's gonna go ahead and probably race on up ahead to try to when the seekers are flying sort of away from us. I'm gonna go kind of race up along the up and try to kind of take advantage of just all the excess like cars around to get up closer.
Okay. Right. So yeah, Grunt arrives on the scene. Breaks, detaches his trailers so that you've got those for a bit of cover for a moment. Turns into full bot mode, and then runs away to head towards the Hoover Dam. So he smashes off into the distance, making the ground shake as he goes, leaving you to deal with the Decepticon Seekers. All right, so you were piling out in alt mode?
No, I'd be doing it in alt mode.
Okay.
It wants being a smaller
profile and sort of blend in with the traffic. Okay. And what's Morphe's approach to the bridge?
As soon as the trailer's like let go, I'm gonna actually use the trailer as partial cover and just overwatch pot shots.
Okay.
Aim and shoot, aim and shoot, aim and shoot.
Okay. Right. Well, let's make initiative rolls then. First.
Okay, so that's not bad. Taking the lower 14.
7.
What's their initiative? They do not have the initiative skill. Okay. We do roll high. But before we do anything, can Apocrypha make an infiltration roll to get close? You have a shift up 1 while you're in alt mode.
Oh, good. That's a flat 10.
Okay.
Oh, 11. I forgot about
11.
the 1.
Okay. 1 second. Their alertness is D2. Only one of them's at each end of the bridge. They're just kind of hovering in bot mode and making their shots at the moment. Still, that is 15 and a critical. So, despite your stealthiness, you drive up, weaving between the wrecked and blasted cars to get closer to the bridge. But the first scout spots you and calls out to his friend. Autobots! Right, and now we're into regular initiative. So, yeah. He takes a couple of blasts at you. I'll shift him down one because you're in cover. So... one minor action to have spotted you. 3 actions to aim, 1 to attack, and he's not moving. So, targeting D4, D6, D8, D10. -1 again because of the cover. D8, really. Which means I've got to find one. Okay, there we go. Despite all that, only got 10. What's your evasion?
I have a 15.
Okay, so yeah, it takes a couple of shots at you with his laser sidearm, so sort of long-nosed pistol. They smash into the already burning wrecks around you without doing anything to you other than showering with a few sparks. But you sort of tense up a bit and feel a little pain in your circuits from where you were blasted before. Right. The other scout swoops down onto the bridge and lands, clang, clang, on his feet, and looks around, scanning the nearby vehicles. Morph.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
How far did Apocrypha get away from me? Is it more than 30 movement?
Well, that's whatever her full movement is. I guess I think in
Okay.
Alt mode that's like 45 feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So I will use one of my free actions to yell at Apocrypha, don't get too far ahead of me just in case I need to pull cover for you. And I will actually now move out into the open. I'll use my other free action to aim, and then I will fire at the closest one.
Okay. Go for it then. Right. His evasion... Oh, no, he wasn't moving, was he? Okay, his toughness is 11, so you need 11 or higher to hit him.
Okay, so then firing is... What is that? Targeting D20. So D2 goes to D4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. 20. Not a crit,
Okay.
but 20.
Not a crit, but a hit. How much damage does your blaster do? 1, isn't it?
25, 80, and 1 sharp damage.
1 sharp damage. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you move up through the open ground, and the sort of burning scrub and fragments of car and a burning tire rolls past you. See him shooting down where Apocrypha is in bike mode, weaving through the burnt out wrecks, and you take careful aim and blast him in the wing. It sizzles and sparks and smoke comes off it, and he sort of drops about 20 feet before he regains his height, blasting with his thrusters. In panic, he looks at his damaged wing. Ah, it hit me. And Apocrypha.
So there's just the two?
Just the 2. Yeah.
All right. So Apocalypse is gonna, taking advantage of the cover, is gonna be shifting over into alt mode and is gonna be aiming for the other one that's not currently being shot at by our boy here.
They're at the far end of the bridge, so and they're behind cover partially from the vehicles that are all stacked over the bridge. So you'll be shifted down 1 to hit.
Then can I get an aim to balance it out?
Yep. So what, you've got 3 minor actions?
Yep. See, 1 for transform.
So, transform, aim. Aim?
Could I use the other one to kind of hug the cover for a bonus to my evasion?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have 2 and a 8 for 10.
Okay, so that's 10. That's a miss, but so yeah, you rev forward, leap up, transform in midair, come down on the behind the cover of one of these trucks with its partially overturned trailer, crushing tinned peaches under your feet, and then duck around the corner of it and let off a couple of shots at him. They smash into the top of a pickup truck, but fail to hit him. The damaged scout says, "I'm going to warn the others," and quickly transforms into jet mode and hoons off north up the river.
Of course, a Seeker would head off like this. They were just such a pain to play against in Cube.
Yeah. Cowards.
Right. The other Seeker tears the roof off a big sort of family people carrier and grabs a human from inside and holds them in his hand. Don't try anything or I'll crush them.
How do we do cold shots in this system? It's just the extra.
Don't know. There'd probably be a downshift or something. Cold shots. Let's have a look. See if there's anything in the combat section. Which is which page? Combat. 140. Combat actions, types of attacks. Okay, let's see. Ranged attacks. In close combat, blasts, multiple targets, multiple weapons, modifiers. Other hidden attackers, targets, no. Size differences, can't be asked with that at the moment.
One pair like the smaller, damage repair.
I'm going to say a cold shot will be a downshift depending on how difficult the shot is.
Okay. And how far away is the... how far away from me is it?
Well, he's right at the other side of the bridge, so you're going to be at a downshift penalty for range anyway.
Okay. If I use my movement, would I negate that or no?
No, he's still going to be a good chunk of the bridge away from you.
You know what? That's fine. Okay. So both hands on the blast pistol. I will say this is either going to end 2 ways. Either you put the human down and surrender, or I kill you. Either way, I don't care. That's and then I will use the... So talking is a free action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll use the other one to aim, and then I'm going to aim for his head.
But talking's a completely free action.
Oh, a completely...
So,
okay, so then I'll double aim for his head, which means I have to downshift by 1, right? For a called shot, and then second downshift for the far away.
So you're aiming for his head, so yeah, that'll be downshift 2, and then the distance will be downshift another one, so it'll be downshift 3.
Oof.
Right?
All right. Yeah.
And then you're aiming twice, so that means you're only downshifted once.
Okay.
He's not really capable of dodging in the situation he's in at the moment, so you just need to beat his toughness.
That is an 18. I get a 19, 18 because it downshifted me into a penalty, and I get a little too high ones.
Okay, so that is a hit for 1 damage.
Oh, because that could have gone much worse.
Yeah, it could have gone a hell of a lot worse.
I have something for this.
A cold shot to the head. Okay, I will make a roll to see if he drops the human. Okay. He drops the human. They go tumbling down and bounce off the bonnet of one of the cars, the hood of one of the cars, and the scout clutches his head where you burnt out one of his optics. Ah, my optics! And it's Hippocrates' turn.
I'm gonna probably go ahead and move up using the wreckage of the cars for cover to get closer.
Okay, you're no longer taking a range penalty. So yeah, you bound over and through the burnt out wrecks. Well, you hear him screaming and clutching his face.
And I'm going to take the opportunity to get probably 2 aims off.
Yeah.
And try to finish him off.
So you pop out around one of the smouldering wrecks, line up on him as he wheels around, clutching his eye with sparks and oil flooding out of it, and take your shot. Okay, you need 11 or higher.
17 and 4 is 23.
21.
No, 21.
There's still a hit, not quite double, but that's another damage, which is enough to take him out. So, do you want to destroy him, or do you want to knock him out?
Oh, let's be heroes.
Okay. Yeah, so you line up on him and fire, strike one of his engines. The stored energy on fuel kind of goes up and it explodes, and he tumbles to the side of the bridge in a heap. But you're still reading energy coming off him, so he's still alive. Just whatever passes for knocked out when you're a giant robot.
How long?
He probably goes into stasis.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you asking?
Oh, I was going to say, how long is he going to be knocked out for? Because it might just be more merciful just to finish it now. Because I don't really want him I don't really want it to get back up and being a problem later.
Don't you have some sort of gadget in the? Don't you have some sort of gadget in the trailer to hold him, like some sort of stasis cuffs?
That is
probably. Yeah, you probably got some energy cuffs or something.
But it's all the way over there, and we need to get to the other place, and boom.
Okay. This is how you just sort of offhandedly blast him.
Sometimes this is how you need to be, kid. All right, now to the bridge.
Well, I imagine that if the humans around us weren't screaming before, they're definitely screaming now.
Yeah, so either end of the bridge is still a burning pile of wreckage, and the bridge is making ominous creaking and pinging sounds, and there are lots of humans milling about and screaming. Some of them are injured.
It sounds like a time for it. This sounds like a time for a game.
We should probably go save them.
Yeah, I bet you I could save more than you.
All right, you're on it. Womp womp womp. Model T Ford.
Everyone pile in.
Get in, get in.
So how are you going to rescue them?
Apocrita is going to probably, because let's be honest, a motorcycle isn't exactly the most beneficial for helping to transport people, so it's got to be in bot mode. And going to check out the various vehicles to see if there's anyone trapped inside of them.
Well, that's probably what you're best for doing, while Morph can ferry a whole bunch of people
I'll be
at
cheeky.
a time.
For those that can actually walk on their own volition, just get the hell in.
Okay, so Morph, you're still going to have to push your way through the wreckage. So can you make a brawn roll, please?
A brawn roll.
You may wish to spend story points or...
I haven't spent a story point, so I'm going to give myself the easy button on this one.
Okay,
Story point.
Spending a story point.
So what happened? Did like all the cars move off to the side for like ambulances to be able to go through?
It could be. Case. Roll a skill test as if you're specialized. It's the closest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So D20 plus D2.
Okay.
But you can get a crit.
Oh, nice. All right. So 11.
Good enough. Okay. So yeah, laden down with people somewhat resembling an Indian train. You move around the wrecks up to the sort of flaming roadblock at the far end and smack into it. Spin your rear wheels while your little engine goes like your Chuggaboom and the Anthill mob with all these guys in you. But you managed to push through and out the other side, and you start ferrying more people. Apocrita, make an athletics roll, please. Which
I can actually do that.
Yeah.
11.
Okay, yeah, you rush from car to car, truck to truck, tearing open the cabins and helping the humans out and ferrying them in the direction of Morph. Right. Morph, you're loaded down with your last lot of humans. There don't seem to be any other ones left on the bridge that need rescuing. But the bridge is about to collapse. The last few support struts and cables snap. Cracks start to appear, so you're going to have to rush to get off the bridge.
I will rush.
So,
Driving?
you're in alt mode, so make a driving roll.
All right.
And if Apocrita wants to go in bot mode, it'll be athletics. In alt mode, it'll be driving.
Yay! 12.
Yeah, I guess I'll
much,
have to do athletics. As great as the imagery of like the motorcycle racing off the crumbling bridge is.
You're not as good at driving as your athletics. Yeah. So what did you get for Morph?
12. 11 on the D20 and 1 on the D2.
Okay. Yeah, you just about make it.
17.
Okay. Yeah. You sprint without even thinking of turning into a motorcycle for some reason and get off the bridge just as it collapses down into the river below. You know, flaming cars and trucks tumbling and smashing down into the water.
I assume my bumpers are like sparking because I'm trying to go as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Come on, god damn it!
I feel like the old lady kind of being held in my arm and like look over, look back. So how many did you rescue? Did I casually set the old lady down? Who won?
Well, technically he rescued all of them and you just got them out of the wrecks, apart from that last one that you just escaped with. So Morphe won on head count.
I'm gonna count the ones that I like. I pull out of their little harnesses
Then it's a draw.
Yeah.
Can live with that.
Fair enough, yeah.
Okay.
Now we need to get down to the Hoover Dam. And the bigger concern there is if the dam gets wrecked, that's going to cause a lot of catastrophic damage.
Was the dam on the other side of the bridge?
This bridge is further south. So
Okay.
the dam's north. The direction that the jet went off.
But again, are we on the right side?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you can rush off that way.
How are you doing for health, Apocrypha?
I've still got a couple points. I've only lost one.
So technically, I think I can heal. Is that what I was reading? Help heal people?
Yes, you can.
So
There's some engineering kits in the trailer, so
I think we should patch you up and then roll out. Better to fight at full than, and then
Yeah, probably a good call.
yeah.
Oh, that'll be a good little battle scar to have.
So what do I roll for that?
I am looking it up. Repair. Let's see. 6 hours of rest removes all health damage and recovers 1 essence if applicable. Science/technology can heal more with a difficulty of 5 plus 5 per health point you want to recover. You've only lost 1, so that's difficulty 10, science or technology roll.
Technology. Always go technology. Wow, my heart almost stopped. 5 and 7 is 13. I rolled a 7 on the D8 and a 5 on the D20. I was like, no. Okay.
All right, you grab a patching kit from the trailer and weld a patch onto Apocrypha's side. It's not pretty, but it'll keep the oil in for now. So you can go back up to full health.
Give you a slap on the ass. All right, you're good again.
Go get him, kid.
All right, I'm ready to kick ass.
The humans are all cheering and taking a bunch of photos of you as you go to head off. This is going to be a fairly short adventure, I think, so I hope that's okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So we won't get a break. Let's see which, because it's a smaller group, which 2 Decepticons do I want to put you up against?
Oh, obviously, reload and like grab extra ammo if we need it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
I think ammunition's pretty hand wavy in this. It's just some weapons have the reload feature, meaning you have to delay between shots.
okay.
Okay. Just give me a second here.
Well, Grim is thinking. So effectively, the reason why I want you close range with me is if you end up taking a bunch of damage, I could literally pull you out of the way and take the damage for you if I need to.
Yeah, I suppose that is a good point.
Yeah.
But it's not as fun. It's plain and safe.
Well, I mean, you're better at combat than I am. That's like hands down. Don't take it to your head, kid. All right, just take it as it is.
Sorry, let me get the recorder out. I need you to say that again.
You're just a bit rusty.
Two giant middle fingers come up in a wind shape.
So while you're looking that up, Grim, I thought I'd bring up just a random screen here to show how the bridge fight could have gone badly.
How do I show that?
Yeah, right there.
There we go. Squish.
Are you the creatures that live in this place?
No,
Although,
not
Fragile.
I feel kind of bad because like now that I just noticed it, it kind of looks like OGGM.
He's definitely going to comment now.
Short story there. By the way, the current Transformers comic is worth checking out for anyone who's curious.
The comics were always good. Like, really good.
This one's currently like 2 issues in. And at the start of issue 2, Optimus Prime steps on a deer.
Oh, nice.
Which feels pretty on point for trucks to hit deers.
Yeah. They've gone adult and dark then a bit.
Kind of makes you wonder if that was a standpoint against PETA. Oops, I didn't really care.
It's coming right for us. Okay. Right. So you speed north up the side of the river, following the roads as best you can. Poor old Chugaboom there, going as fast as his little engine can carry him.
Hey,
Which isn't that
45.
What is the top speed of a Model T? 42 miles per hour.
My sheet says 45.
It's 45 feet per turn in combat. But, you know, you're a Cybertronian, so you can probably go a bit faster. Right. But yeah, you drive as fast as you can northwards. And eventually you find Grunt, not far off the dam, sort of hiding in a drainage ditch at the side of the highway. While that wounded scout you saw off is sort of occasionally blatting at him to keep him hidden. Hi guys, I didn't want to do anything without you.
Okay.
Did you get the scout, buddy?
Well, he's there. He's shooting at me, and there's some other flying Decepticons, and there's a bunch of drones carrying Energon out of the dam.
How many did you see?
Don't think the drones will fight. The Decepticons, 2 big ones. One of them was blue, and the other one was purple.
All right, to strategize, I think we should knock them out of the sky. That way, Big Grunt here can ground and pound.
Yeah, you could probably just rip their wings off.
Yeah, we'll run at it as a team, one by one. Grunt, we're going to use you for cover, and then if you need it, I'll patch you up. Sound like a plan?
Okay. Right, so he shifts out from cover and transforms into his truck form, so he can give you more cover, because he's bigger in truck form. And starts rolling up the road, just slow enough that you can run or drive alongside him.
Well, I was going to transform and like hop on top of him because he's kind of like a big old tractor trailer.
Yeah, it's a massive tractor trailer.
Yeah, so one arm hold on and, fire.
Yeah. Okay. So you start rumbling towards the bridge, towards the dam. From this distance, you can see the 2 aerial Decepticons sort of flying around, directing things, telling the drones what to do, and they're flying off, heading west at high speed, carrying big cubes of energon. So this already damaged scout is the only one in your way at the moment. But if you would care to roll initiatives for me.
15.
Mighty 3.
Okay, Captain Slow that. Apocrypha got 15. Okay, so... All right. So as Grunt starts to roll forward, Morphe hops on top. Apocrypha, running alongside, or
Yeah, probably running alongside. Kind of keeping the head low in bot mode.
yeah. Okay. Well, you've got the highest initiative out of the people within range at the moment. So what do you want to do? So this scout is just blatting away now at the side of Grunt as he trundles along.
Apocrypha is gonna do a little roll. Is gonna roll over, roll out ahead of Grunt, alongside of where he would be going.
Yeah,
and is gonna get a name off to shoot, so that that way Grunt can still kind of move up and kind of cover her when afterwards.
on the following action. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, for your move, you do a combat roll forward ahead of Grunt, come up on one knee, level your blaster, center it on him, and fire.
Exactly.
He's bobbing and weaving in the sky backwards and forwards, so it's his evasion you need to beat. So you need 16 or more.
Well, I rolled a 5.
Okay. In total?
In total.
Okay. It's the roll. It's the roll. It threw your aim off. So you come up and you let off a couple of shots, but he twists and turns through the sky, and you hear him shout, "More Autobots!"
This is what I get for trying to be a showboat.
Yeah, it's what your coach always used to tell you. Grunt, trundles.
But the crowd loved it when you were one, though.
This is true. Right. You can't make out what they're saying, but distantly you can hear the other Decepticons shouting, and all of the drones are now lifting up, carrying whatever energon they've got left. Right, Morph.
All right. So I don't really need to worry about moving. I'm just going to aim, and fire.
Okay.
Ah, damn it. 4 and 1 makes 5.
Ah, you missed me. My turn. Right, so that's... but you're in cover, so... no, you're hit. What's your toughness?
Morpher.
Morph.
Okay. My toughness is 14.
Okay. You take 1 damage from the blasts.
Okay.
So yeah, a energy bolt blasts your cigar out of your mouth and scorches a line down the side of your face. The bastard.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second. Need to look something up.
if they're gonna start pulling all the energon out of here, it'd probably be better just to try to deny them it altogether.
You mean like blow up the dam?
No. I mean, like, shoot the drones or shoot the energon the drones are carrying.
If the energon blows up, wouldn't that still damage the dam?
Well,
not if they've lifted off
air
with it. Okay. Distantly, you see the purple Decepticon sort of fly down level with the dam and just start blasting away at it with his arm blasters. Yeah, and you hear explosions going off on its surface. Right, Apocrypha.
Oh, I guess I'll have to. I tell you what, I'm gonna go take care of him. You take care of this up here.
Which him? The one by the dam or the one?
I'll take care of the one shooting at the dam. You take care of this up here.
I was gonna try to cowboy the one on the dam. That was the one. That was exactly what I think. Just jump off of. Okay, all right.
So, can I take and use my energy whip to tie on to the side of the dam?
To what sort of swing across?
Yeah. If we're talking about cowboying it up, I mean, what's more cowboy?
Yeah. So yes, you can. So let's see. To get up there, you're going to need to transform. Roll out. Are you thinking in the future? You're on the road on the western side of the river, and you're on the approach.
Oh, okay.
So you're still somewhat distant from the dam
right,
itself.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna go shift into vehicle mode and go racing off to go run up. So, I suppose that'd be my turn.
Yeah. So transform, move, use your combat action to sprint, which is double move, and use any remaining move actions to give yourself even more move. So you'd be going at a pretty good pace. Yeah. So yeah, Apocrypha leaps forward, transforms, smacks down onto the road, and hoons off at high speed in a cloud of dust. So yeah, you'll be there start of next turn. Okay. Grunt says, "You okay, Morph?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You want me to smash him?"
Yeah, just get ready. Just get ready to whack the first one I drop to the ground.
Okay, me ready.
Get me a little closer towards, if you can, get me a little closer towards the bigger Decepticon.
Yeah, so he just keeps rolling forward while the scout continues to blast away, trying to get at you. More blasts hit into the front of the dam. A few sort of bits of concrete chip away and fall down, but it's going to take them a while to blast through the dam if they even manage to. Morphs go.
Okay. The Decepticon that's closer toward me, is that in range with a pistol?
That's the scout. Yeah, he's in range with the pistol.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. Called shot to whatever I need to hit to make him fall the hell out of the sky.
Okay. So to the engines or the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aiming twice.
Okay. So 1 shift down, 2 shifts up. So 1 shift up.
Got it. All right. Come on. Oh, 2 and a 3 is a 5.
All right, you aim ever so carefully, but miss somehow.
See, this
your
is
optics must need realigning.
I'm rolling crap. I'm rolling crap for the non-edgy things, and I'm rolling great for the edgy things. This is, damn it.
So what have we learned? Be edgy.
Be crazy. Be edgy.
Yeah. Always be edgy.
Yeah.
I think next round I'm going to target its nuts, whatever the equivalent of that is.
Right. He hits you again. Let's take another point of damage as his blaster bolt smashes into your shoulder this time.
Ouch.
Ah, the old wound.
All right.
Okay. One second. Right. As a Procurator roars up towards the dam, the purple Decepticon appears from the other side of the dam, flying over on his boot thrusters. And attempts to intercept you with a missile.
Oh,
But that will need actions to reload, so you don't need to worry too much. Right. We'll try and do 2 damage, so we'll downshift him 1. So that's D2. And you're moving super fast, so that means he's just rolling 2d20. No, sorry, 1d20. Oh, it's consumable. That means it's a one-shot. Ah, it's a one-shot. What is your evasion?
he is currently 15.
Okay. So, yeah, he appears from the other side of the bridge, partially transformed, so the rocket launcher comes up over his shoulder, lines it up on you, and fires. It hits behind you, and there's a massive explosion, leaving a crater in the road. You're sort of flung forward a bit, and then land back on your wheels, sway back and forth, and keep going. Curses. And it's your go.
All right, so I'll take the momentum of being thrown forward to transform.
Yep.
And again, kind of roll over on myself to go up and aim directly at the purple Decepticon.
Skywarp.
I have him right here.
Yeah. Handy. You can check him for weak points.
I only have like 3 of that model. So that's a double aim.
Yep.
Let's see, in bot mode, treat your speed. Okay, I'll have to remember that. Treat my speed as too higher for free actions.
Yeah. I think I already worked that in, but you should be alright.
16.
16. That's a miss, unfortunately.
Darn.
Yeah. So you leap forward, the explosion behind you, looking super cinematic and cool. Fly through the air, land, roll, come up, and fire. And he just sort of twists slightly to one side. Pathetic, tiny Autobot. Prepare to be smashed. Grunt continues to trundle on for his go.
I would like to do a combination move with Grunt. If you saw the private
Fastball
chat.
special?
Yeah, we're gonna do the throw ally special, fling ally. I'm gonna switch to the club. I want Grunt to throw me right at him, and then as soon as I get close enough, I'm just gonna take the Louisville swing to try to knock him out the air and ride him into the ground.
Okay, I will give you a story point for being cool.
Morphe swings for the bleachers.
What can I do with that story point?
So story points. I wish games wouldn't have so many multiple currencies for things you can do. You can re-roll if you get a 1.
Okay.
Roll a skill test as if you're specialized,
Okay.
which means you will roll all the possible dice.
Okay.
So yeah, it's probably worth spending one to get
Yeah, I will
get this
spend
hit
it on
in.
the club hit. Yeah, the mighty club hit.
Okay, so Grunt is providing assistance. So this is a might attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you get shift up 1
So that
for
goes
him
to
helping you.
D8.
So right, and so it's every possible dice you can roll. You roll them all, and you take the D20 highest and whatever the other one is that's highest.
So that'll be the D20 plus the D2 plus the D4 plus the D6 plus the D8.
Oh, that's better.
Well, you don't add them all together. You just take the highest dice,
Oh,
but
added
it can be a crit. Yeah,
Okay.
and the D2 can crit as well.
Okay, all right. And then, can I aim while I'm up in the air? Like,
You got 3 actions, sure. So that will give you even more dice to roll.
So we go 8, 12.
I guess technically it's Grunt that's aiming, but yeah, we'll go with it. Okay. So what's that give you?
Hold on, there's a lot of dice I gotta roll now.
If you're doing 2 upshifts, that goes D10, D12, and if one more beyond that is 2D8.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that helps. So
All right, hold on.
yeah.
Do the highest crap first.
Complicate. Okay, so 2d8 plus 1d20. Do that one first.
The 2d8 is a 10. The d20 is... God damn it, it's another 5.
That's 15.
And then... where's the upshifting goes? Yeah, the 2d8.
So the highest roll you could get now would, if you got a 12 on the d12, would be 17. So none of that's actually going to be enough to hit.
I can't burn an energon.
Oh no, hang on. It's the scout you were going after, wasn't it? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, no, you'll hit him.
Woohoo!
So it's 15 in total, but he's only got 1 damage left. So yeah, so Grunt transforms, sort of rolling over himself while you're kind of flung off his back. He grabs you out of the air, swings around like a hammer throw, and hurls you directly at the scout.
I cry.
You go you go flying through the air, hauling your bat out, and sort of go past him, smashing his head clean off his shoulders. Of course, you're now falling towards the river. Make an athletics roll to stick the landing.
An athletics roll? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is at disadvantage. Okay, well that's not terrible. That's an 8.
Okay. You hit the side of the riverbank and slide down it a short way, but you don't plummet all the way into the river. But it'll take you a turn's movement to recover.
All right.
Okay, and the scout was destroyed, so it doesn't get a go. Right. Has Skywarp got any other good tricks up his sleeve? Okay. There is a bright purple flash. Skywarp disappears out of the air in front of you. There's a sort of boom noise. And then he reappears directly behind you and swings down at you with his baton.
Uh-oh.
He gets a shift up 1 for that. Oh, I don't fling my dice off the table. What's your evasion?
I have a 15.
Okay, he just misses. You are used to people trying to tackle you from behind while playing Cube, so you kind of anticipate and dive to one side, and his heavy baton smashes into the dirt, opening up in cracks. Too small. And it's your go.
Yeah, gonna take advantage of being down here on the ground like this to get a shot off straight at his abdomen. Much in the same
Yeah.
sort of spot I was at.
Yes. Point blank range in the gut. Okay, go for it. Spending actions to aim?
Yes. Spend 2 there and then 1 to get up after that.
Yep.
17.
Still not good enough. I don't know why they're throwing you up against such powerful opponents in this adventure, but at least I cut them down some. Okay, so yeah, he smashes down with his baton. You're spattered with bits of dirt and rock. You try to fire, and he just twists around as he draws his baton back. Okay. Grunt goes, "Oh, one of them's on the ground," and stomps forward at high speed and throws himself at Skywarp with his own giant club, which is kind of a truck-sized Tetsubo. So, where's his stat block gone? It's Grunt. Hitting things is what Grunt does. Okay. So, he has 1 action to aim. He's got his move action. He's got his attack. His might. Okay, he rolled very badly, but that means I'm going to spend a story point for him because it was a 1. So that means he can reroll. And that's almost the opposite. So that's 24 to hit, which is a hit. Oh, sorry, no, I changed his weapon. It's not a Tetsuba, it's a gigantic crowbar. So from behind, a shadow falls across Apocryta and Skywarp as Grunt comes lumbering up and smashes down with his crowbar, knocking Skywarp down onto his knees with a loud clang. So he's taken some damage.
That'd be awesome if Grunt had some song to, like, AC/DC or like Gangster's Paradise. Din, din, pong.
Right. Thundercracker, which is the other one, continues to fire at the dam. A few small cracks begin to spiderweb over the front section of the concrete. Morph.
While I'm on the hillside, can I see some Thundercracker?
Yeah, you can see him sort of
Is he in
hovering
range?
backwards and forwards, blasting. Extreme range. He'd be downshifted twice.
Yeah, no. What's the if I took my entire action? Is there any way I can boost my speed to get back to where I need to be? In one
Yeah, so
turn?
you've got your normal move action. You can sacrifice your combat action to move again, and then you can sacrifice all your free actions to do small moves on top of that. So that would
All
get
the
you
move.
back up on the road and on the way.
Yep, all the move.
Okay. Yeah. You can move fast when you need to. Just puts a bit of strain. Okay. Right. Outnumbered, but not particularly phased yet. Skywarp spins around and attempts to smash Grunt with his baton. So that's... Yeah, okay. He goes boom on the side of Grunt's face. And Grunt just goes, huh, cool. Yeah, Grunt's not the dodging kind, but he doesn't really need to be. So, Apocrita. Skywarp has his back to you.
All right. Well, in that case, let me. All right. Let me try to take a. I'm gonna do 2 aims, and out of curiosity, is there anything nearby, like any buildings that I could get into? In theory, to negate his aerial advantage.
Yeah.
Like lure him in somewhere where he can't fly around.
There's a cafe, a visitor center, some weird sort of almost pillbox looking constructions. But you're probably closest to the visitor center. Let me just get a look at what it's actually like in real life. Oh, that's pretty big. Yeah, it's about the tallest part's about 3 stories tall. A lot of it's glass, but the roof isn't.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shoot him in the back point blank here, and I guess I'll do the 3 upshifts.
Yeah, you can have an extra upshift because you're shooting him in the back.
Okay, then I will up that to D10.
Okay.
And kind of try to taunt him to chase me into the visitor center.
Okay, we'll do the taunt roll separately.
18 and 4 is 22.
Oh, that's a hit. Right, so yeah, you shoot him repeatedly in the back, blasting into the armor of his wings, which he sort of closes over his back like a beetle shell to ward off most of the blasts, but you're definitely doing some damage. And then taunting him. How are you taunting him?
So much for all that aerial superiority, fly guy. Aren't you seekers supposed to be proud of your wings? What are you doing here on the ground?
Okay. Just looking at the description of Skywarp, it says, sadly not too bright, mean-spirited, and a prankster. So, yeah, he's a bit of a dimwit. Okay. So, taunt is its own skill, isn't it? I think. No, it's a specialization in
deception or streetwise.
Yeah, make a deception roll.
$13.
Just enough. Right. Yeah. He is going to come after you. Yeah. So he twists around, perhaps unwisely ignoring Grunt, and sort of narrows his eyes as he stares at you.
And then can I use my movement to back towards the visitor center?
Yep. So you back away towards that. Any humans here have long since evacuated, so it's empty.
Okay.
All right. Grunt attempts to smash the puny Decepticon a second time, but misses this time. His crowbar digs into the ground and rips up part of the tarmac. Stands there shaking it off. All right. Thundercracker continues to blast away at the dam, but it's taking a lot of effort. Morph, you come trundling up, so you see Apocrita backing towards the Hoover Dam Visitor Center, with Skywarp looking set to follow her.
And then the flyer. Is there any energon guys around the flyer that's attacking the dam, or no?
Probably not at this point, unless you want to spend a story point.
I don't think we have any more story points.
You got one left.
Do we? Do you mind if I use it?
Because you gained some.
Have at it.
Story point.
Okay. The last energon carrier comes flying out of one of the generator.
Double aim and shoot it
buildings.
as soon as it gets near what Thundercracker? You said Thunder.
Yeah, Thundercracker. Yep. Okay. So 2 upshifts. You said, and
6.
fire.
All right, come on. Don't jank me this time.
It's only a drone, so.
Okay, nat 20 on the d20 and +1 is 21 on the d6.
Okay, nice. And that's double what you needed to hit, so you do +1 damage, so that's 2 damage.
Okay.
Which is enough to destroy it. The energon cube explodes, and Thundercracker is caught in the explosion.
I will use the movement action to continue going towards my allies.
Yeah. Okay, and you caught up to Grunt, Apocryta, and Skywarp then.
Okay.
All right, new turn.
Did it knock what's his face out the sky to fall down the?
He wheels around and has to struggle to get his altitude back, and it definitely hurt him. He's blackened and scorched.
Oh, so this might be really pissed off then.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Skywarp pursues Apocryta and does like a flying tackle because he's enraged and therefore stupid. His might is d6. What's your evasion?
15.
Okay, he just hits you. It doesn't do any damage, but you are basically held until you break free. So he dives into you, grabs you around the waist, and you both go smashing through the front of the visitor center into the sort of lower part of the tower section, smashing displays and photographs and stands and things that are up for the visitors to see. Right, and that's all he can do. It is your turn.
So, what would it be to push him off?
It would be a brawn versus brawn roll, or to try and wriggle free. You could do alertness, not alertness, athletics. Sorry.
I'll do that.
Okay. You need to 14 or more to break free.
16.
Okay. So yeah, you push free of his grip. That'll be your move action. So yeah, you slip through. You're too small, and your unfamiliar feminine form is hard for him to keep hold of.
And then can I get a couple aims off to shoot him?
Yeah. While he's sort of got away from me. So yeah, shift up a couple of times. Give yourself an additional bonus shift for having him trapped in here.
D10. 14.
Not enough. In the scramble, he manages to grab like the check-in desk of the visitor center and throw it in the way of the blast. So you just blast that into fragments of burning wood. Right. Okay. Grunt comes lumbering in behind him. His crowbar comes smashing in, digs into Skywarp's shoulder, and then he's yoinked back out of the out of the building
Ouch.
and repeatedly smashed against the floor.
Hulk smash style.
Yeah. No hurt, friend.
Oh, shit.
Right. And between clangs of the gigantic crowbar, Skywarp calls out, Thundercracker! Oof! Help! Thundercracker turns away from blasting at the dam and comes flying over, but that's all he can really do this turn, having just recovered his height. Morph.
Okay, so Thundercracker is definitely a hell of a lot closer within range, right?
Yeah, within normal range now.
Would I get any advantage if I use a move action, like to take a knee and then 2 free actions and aim?
The taking the knees would be considered part of the aiming actions.
Okay.
But let you sacrifice the move action for an additional aim action.
Yeah. I'll do aim, and I'm going to fire, but again, I'm still. I want a called shot to knock him out of the sky.
Hit one of his thrusters.
Yeah. Or a weak point that got damaged from the energon blast that would disrupt his thrusters. So
Okay, go for it.
D 2, 6, 8. Okay. Come on. Actually, you know what? You were mean to me. I'm gonna use a different die. Okay. 19 on D20 and 8 on the D8, so 27.
And a crit.
Woohoo.
Remember, you can spend energon points to boost stuff as well. Not that you need to now, but just remember. This fight's nearly over. Okay. Okay. So your blast smashes into his thruster. He almost spirals, but then instead just comes sort of crashing down to earth. Sort of bump, bump, bump. Right.
I'll yell over to Apocrypha. The fat lady's about to sing.
In the brief seconds between Grunt smashing him repeatedly into the ground, Skywarp rapidly transforms and tries to fly free, heading straight towards Thundercracker. So let's see if he gets free. Actually, he can use his teleport again. He can use that multiple times. Okay, so he transforms, disappears in a flash of purple light, reappears, flying just above ground level directly towards Thundercracker, smacks into him, and Thundercracker kind of grabs hold of him, and they go flying off erratically into the sky. But you can get reactions before they're completely gone. So, Apocrypha.
Try to get my 3 aims off and try to get one last shot off.
Okay. Downshift 1 for the range. Make a shot.
Oh, wait. $25.
Nice. Is that a crit or just a high roll?
That's a natural 20 and a 5.
Okay. All right. One of your bolts, you fire off a handful of them into the retreating Skywarp, so it smashes into his tail, and he gets even more wobbly in the sky, but keeps going. Grunt just looks at them and wish I had a gun. Thundercracker holds on for dear life. Ah, my foot. Morph.
If I moved, would I negate that range penalty, or does it matter?
No, they're aerial. You'd have to kind of fling yourself off the
All
side
right.
of the
Yeah, we're gonna do
dam.
it. Move, aim, energon.
Okay, so the energon gives you another upshift.
So that goes 4, 6, 8, 10. Got it. And then, all right. Okay, not bad. 18 plus 1 is 19.
Okay, that's a hit. Right, impossibly, one blast from your pistol manages to wing Skywarp as he retreats at high speed. Right, but they are gone, though you very nearly killed one of them, which I'm rather surprised at, to be honest.
Immediately laid up another cigar. I'll hand one to Apocrypha. Fat Lady's son. We won the day.
Yeah, what the heck?
Hey, big guy, you might want to go get your container. We'll wait here for you.
Okay. The dam is damaged, but there's no immediate threat of it flooding. So, yeah, you've managed to prevent too much damage being done to it. The Decepticons did get a lot of energon, but not as much as they might otherwise have gotten. So, all things considered, a successful mission.
And the damaged dam sounds like a human problem.
It does. All right. So I know it's not that long of a game, but it's always faster with fewer players anyway. Hope that was fun.
Yeah, it was very fun.
It's a quirky system, isn't it?
It's really trying to sort of invoke that Saturday morning cartoon sort of vibe, I feel.
Yeah. I'm just not sure the system choices were the best ones to do that.
Well, I've been staunchly of the opinion that this was something that had been in the works at Wizards of the Coast for a time, because I was hearing rumors before this all came out that there was something sort of rumbling about. And looking at this, it has familiarities to 5e.
Yeah. Very similar, some of the mechanics.
I mean, it's got advantage and disadvantage for one thing.
Yeah, the rolling methodology, like I said, is more suited to realistic games, except that they've got that D20. So it's like they're trying to bridge the gap between the wildly heroic swings you get in D&D, between 120 flat probability and the average probabilities that you get from something like Fate, which weirdly is another game that's got a system that mirrors the bell curve of reality, but is mostly heroic type games. And this feels like it's trying to be somewhere in between.
I want to look and kind of get a sense of how the crossover book is going to handle that, because you're trying to then combine Power Rangers with G.I. Joe with Transformers, and they're all kind of widely different. If G.I. Joe is still having the same stats, then how are you going to compare that to Transformers?
Yeah, I mean, they've got the size chart stuff in this, which we kind of ignored, even though it should have come into it.
Yeah, I was wondering about the size chart.
Yeah, so if the attacker is large and the defender is small, then the attacker gets downshifts on their attack. If the attacker is small and the defender is large, then they get bonuses on the attack. So it wouldn't really have come into it that much in our game, because not that much difference in sizes. But if we're looking at a human being attacked by a typically sized transformer, so that's a large attacker against a small target, they'd only get a downshift of 1. And I guess if the damage all scales, because damage for almost everything is just 1. And then if you get a crit, you might do 2. And if you get multiples of the difficulty to hit someone, you might get 3 or 4 or other extra effects. So,
Speaking of that, the low hit point method and stuff like that and the fact where they have the ability stats broken down into multiple different things is kind of reminiscent of a little bit of AD&D stuff, especially on second, where you can actually do the player's option to split your stats into like 2 things. Sometimes I think there's a third thing. So, I mean, as far as the bell curve, I can't really say because my dice were going cattywampus in one direction or the other, and it was ridiculous. So,
but that does give you that heroic feel. So, I don't think the averaging issue will really come into it until you're at the higher dice levels. Because what's a D2? You know, it's not going to make that much difference either way, or even a D4. You know,
sometimes that too is just the tip you need.
Being interesting that you could hybridize GI Joe and Transformers and do a mask RPG if you wanted. That would be quite easy. All the different alt modes and transforms and weapons and things. That would be quite easy to do.
I say for flavor, it has it on nostalgia too. By the way, like it plays really fun. It does. It plays very really fun.
Yeah. I was trying to ramp that up as well, and in the descriptions and things to try and bring across a bit of that. Though it was a bit deadlier and a bit edgier, but then that's the comics. So. All right. So next week should be T-shirts game, and then the week after that, so that you can join in Ironcaster, I'll do G.I. Joe, which is another Essence 20 system. And I should have the Cobra book by then, so that'll be fun. And I'll do an adventure that's a bit longer as well. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for playing, guys. See you soon.
Thanks for having us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.